Hello, and welcome to Real Actors, Real Answers, the video podcast where you are the star. Today, I would like to introduce you to Elizabeth Chamberlain. She is a powerhouse. She is a passionate artist, singer, actor, producer, writer, so many wonderful things. So we're just going to talk with her, and she'll reveal her secrets and what she's doing. And I'm really honored to introduce Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hello. I'm extremely well, thanks.
Good. How is Alberta?
Alberta's good. It's warming up out there, so it's getting closer to summer, which is really nice. Yeah, I have a few projects this summer, so I'm really excited about the change in seasons.
Oh, excellent. What kind, if you can share it, of course. What kind of projects?
Currently, I have two lined up in the near future. That is Grotesque 2. It's the sequel to Grotesque 1. I'm helping produce that with Higher Universe Pictures, and I'm also the lead actress in that one. And the other film I have going on is Cursed Waters. We're doing that in LA in July with the Mahal brothers, the Mahal Empire. And that one's kind of a pirate film. I'm playing one of the lead characters in that as well.
I could see you playing a pirate. I could still see you playing, because, or pardon me, as they call them back then, wenches, okay, but pirates, because I saw your combat reel. It's like, some of it is like, whoa, gruesome, but other parts are like, wow, it's inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
Tell us about Cursed Waters, because I saw that. It's a pretty big project. When you said LA, you're talking about Los Angeles, not LA, Louisiana, right?
Yes, Los Angeles. Okay. Yeah, I suppose you never know. Yeah, we're shooting in the greater LA area, the Los Angeles area, and we have some real pirate ships that they have procured for our film. So the first few days of filming is going to be just straight on the pirate ships. So that's very exciting. Yeah. I played this badass pirate in it, and I'm really excited about that. I had worked with them before. I worked with them on Alien Storm, their last feature film. And on that was shot in Las Vegas. And I played kind of a featured background character in that one. But they liked my work so much that they wanted me to be in the next film. And I said, absolutely. I said, I'm going to be there. Whatever it is, whatever we're doing, I'm going to be there. And then they sent me the script just recently, and I was so pleased. I was so pleased. I was down for anything, but the role that they wrote for me was really spectacular.
How did you find out about this? Do you have an agent? And how was the audition? Yeah,
so I actually just 2 days ago am no longer have an agent, but at the time, yes, I had an agent. And I had been with that agent for a year and a half, but the agent that I had absolutely nothing to do with with Alien Storm or Cursed Waters. She was wonderful in other ways, but just for that project didn't have anything to do with it. And my dad/manager, he is the one who ended up. Yeah, everybody calls him my dadager. I don't know where that's come from. He was the one who ended up procuring that job for me. He's a part of the few filmmaker circles kind of thing online, and he had got wind of the project and messaged some of the EPs and kind of tried to figure out what was going on with it, and then sent them my stuff. So I actually didn't do a formal audition or a video audition or anything for that. He just sent them my reels, and he sent them some of my current existing stuff, and they took a look at that. And he said, yeah, sure. All of the roles are already cast in Alien Storm, but we could write a role for her if you're interested. And I said, yeah, sure. That sounds great. So they wrote me kind of, like I said, a featured role. They actually kind of like split another role kind of into two and to make a character for me. And then that's what I ended up playing. So that's kind of how that came together. Yeah.
Okay. It sounds fascinating. Cursed Waters. It reminded me a little bit of what I've seen so far as Pirates of the Caribbean, in a way.
It's very much Pirates of the Caribbean. It's an action adventure for sure, but there are some aspects of horror to it. So it's very much up the street of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's very similar, yeah.
As an acting coach, I can see, and it's helped to watch your various things on your YouTube channel and your acting reel and things, but I could see you playing, with the red hair especially, a princess, okay, a pirate, all right, even a teacher that's just starting out in an elementary school and she's having a lot of problems controlling the kids. You know, you have that look. You're stern, but you're sweet. But the red hair and the red eyebrow, everything, you have a fire in you. And again, this is from seeing you, but also I've been watching, like I said, your work. How did it all start?
I suppose it all started with high school theater, really, for me. I mean, I've always been a performer ever since I was little. Any family event, I'd get them all sit down and watch me do something, whether it be a magic trick or a song I learned, or, oh, I can play the guitar today, or I can do this tap dance, or whatever it was. I wanted them to watch me. So I've always been a performer in that aspect. But in high school, yeah, we did some high school theater, and there are a few projects that for me really stood out to me and just like made me realize, oh, this might be something I want to do forever. This might not just be something I'm doing for fun, because I was involved in everything in high school and in elementary school as well. Everything I could be a part of. I was a basketball, volleyball, hockey, whatever, everything I could do. But for acting, I think it just hit me different. It was just something that I didn't want to stop doing, really. Ever. And I never really knew what I was wanting to be. We'd have career fairs and I'd think about being a teacher or a veterinarian or a police officer or all of these things that I wanted to be. But with acting, I don't have to pick just one. I can be them all if I want. I can be anything I want.
I was going to say, you can play all of those. I'm not a doctor to play, but I played one on television.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So I don't have to use just one with acting, which is really nice.
Have you ever been a little bit nervous or afraid going out in front of an audience?
Yeah, I have been. For me, I don't really suffer from any sort of stage fright or anything like that. I experience a lot of anxiety in just like my day-to-day life. I just have a lot of anxiety, but I find when I'm performing, it's honestly the most relaxed I am, because I don't have to be myself.
I understand that.
The lines are already written and all of that kind of thing. Like it's not something I have to come up with. It's just I can act as goofy as I want or whatever I want. And if somebody doesn't like it, if the director doesn't like it, they'll just tell me. They'll just say, hey, do it differently. And I go, okay, great. Thank you for letting me know. You know, it's not about Elizabeth Chamberlain all the time. It's about the character I'm playing. And so I honestly find that when I'm on stage or when I'm in front of the camera, I'm the least stressed. It's the most comfortable I am. So, yeah.
Because you're at home, that's why.
Yeah.
The reason why I ask is because acting is all about movement, you know, the words, the emotions or energy, and then movement, of course. You change dramatically when you're on stage singing. In comparison to a character, there's some kind of energy, there's some kind of movement, and you're just full out, you're controlled and you know what you're singing, but you're just full out. There's some kind of energy. What if you had a choice? This is a tough one, maybe, okay. But if you had a choice, would you rather do singing or acting?
I think singing.
Yeah.
With singing, there is always acting. I shouldn't say you can't. I don't ever sing without acting. I'm always adding acting to singing, but with acting, you don't necessarily have to be singing, right? So with singing, you could have the best of both worlds. Singing is also something that just feels so natural to me. It's just like breathing. I just sing all the time. Everywhere I am, I sing. Whereas acting is more of a decision. I don't act day to day. I don't act when I'm talking to people. I'm just myself, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so probably singing if I had to choose.
You've been in theater. You've been in film. Have you written anything? Are you producing things? Are you getting involved in that aspect of the business?
Yeah, I don't write scripts. I don't write screenplays. I don't write plays, stage plays. I do write music. I write songs. So there's been a few films in which I've written songs for their like theme song or for their for the song for the credits or for the title sequence or whatever. I've written a few songs for that kind of thing. And then I also write, outside of films as well for songwriting. But I don't really write scripts at all. I do help produce. There's been a few films I've helped produce, and Grotesque is one of them. That's we did Grotesque 1, and then we're doing Grotesque 2, so I help produce that. So yeah, I definitely help make films happen and make them better, and improve upon them when I can with the abilities that I have and stuff like that. I'm very interested in that, especially in films that I'm acting in. I don't really produce for films that I'm not acting in, but films that I'm acting in, I'm like, I have a large span of abilities. I can help out in many more ways than just being an actor, and so I like to do that. I like to help out in other ways that I can, because I want to make the film as best as it can be, and I think that I have the abilities to do that. So yeah.
Because I saw your resume, your special skills, your skill level. It's just everything. One of the things that stood out with me is canoeing and a lot of different various sports and dance and things like that. You're active probably all the time, aren't you?
Well, I do sleep a lot. I am pretty lazy as well.
Okay.
But throughout my life, I have been pretty active, and I've been pretty lucky in all of the things that I've learned. So yeah, I like to do things. I like to actually get out there and just do things rather than just talking about them or reading about them or learning about them kind of thing. I like to just experience things. So I do have a large variety of skills because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I always tell my students, you can do whatever you do, make sure you do it well before you put it on a resume. I can kind of juggle. No, kind of doesn't cut it,
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. In auditions, people will ask you, like, if you put something on your resume and you say, like, oh, I can do a Scottish accent, they're going to ask you on the spot to do that. Like, don't put it on your resume if you're not ready.
No. And if you can do it very well, you can do it very badly.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like, I forgot his name. He was on Friends, where he's going, how you doing?
Yeah.
Okay? He could play a bad actor because he was a good actor. Yeah. My point of that is that we need to keep those things up. We need to be current on our activities and our skills. What was your first time on stage? What play was it?
First play, it's probably Wizard of Oz, I think. No, Footloose. Footloose was my first play. Yes, it was a musical, and that was in high school. I did, prior to that, I had done some, like, variety shows and stuff that had a plot to it, so they were kind of like plays, but they weren't, like, a big-name title play like this. So Footloose was probably my first proper play. I had done that in grade 9. I wasn't even sure that I wanted to. My best friends at the time that I was in high school with, they said, hey, we should audition for this musical thing. It would be really fun to do together. And I said, I don't know. Like, I'm doing basketball and volleyball and hockey. I don't know if I want to add another thing to my plate. But you know what? I want to hang out with you guys. So if you guys are doing this, I won't be able to hang out with you. So sure, let's audition. So the 3 of us auditioned, and they didn't get in, and I did. And I was like, oh no. Now I gotta do this because I signed up for it. And I mean, you could decline if you wanted to, but I was like, well, I might as well, I guess. And then it turns out to just be my passion and just be what I loved. So I kind of owe everything to them as well, like to actually push me to try that kind of thing. And then it turns out I really liked it. So
what your first opening night, for Footloose, who'd you play, by the way?
I was just a background character in Footloose. I was just part of the ensemble. I was one of the people who lived in the town. Yeah. Okay.
All right. What was your first initial feeling, emotion, energy? What did you feel when you were in front of a live audience first time?
Really excited. Really, really excited. I used to, at the end of every show, and not just for Footloose, but for several years after, I used to cry at the end of every show. And it wasn't like I was sobbing for sad reasons. It was just such a release after doing that. It was just every time the curtain would rise and we'd come up for curtain call and do our bows, I was just sobbing every show. And I think it's just because of that pent up excitement, and then you release that all on stage, and then afterwards you're like, and then the tears come. So the fact that I could really make people happy and really entertain them and make them feel any kind of emotion, really, and that they were just vibing along with us and just jamming and really excited about what we were doing was just a really nice feeling. Like the theater that we did Footloose in and several of the musicals that I have done, like seats up like over 400 people. And that was a lot for me to have that completely full of people at a night to night, and really involved in what we're doing and really invested in it. That was a new feeling for sure. It was always like Christmas concerts where just the parents had come and whatever prior to that. So that was a new experience for me, and that was a lot of energy.
Excellent. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I know that feeling very well. Yeah, you're giving all your work, all your preparation, and you don't know. I mean, you're hoping, but you don't really know if you're going to be liked. So that's a big thing right there.
It is a big thing.
I noticed, I was looking at your education. You've studied a lot of wonderful people. One of them, Uta Hagen, Strasbourg. I thought I saw too.
Yeah. So we study like the Uta Hagen like concept and stuff at the University of Alberta, and yeah, we had studied a lot of people. I never studied under Uta Hagen, but I studied under people who taught kind of that study, that kind of belief. But we learned a lot of different. We learned Meisner. We learned whatever, just like lots of different acting techniques at the university. And it's not something that necessarily you use every time you act. You're not always thinking about it, or maybe you are. But just having that toolkit and having studied all of those things, you can grab from them at any point you want. So that's really helpful for me.
I like what you said, toolkit. Clowning. Yeah, that was it. You studied clowning. What's that about?
Oh my gosh, clowning was honestly probably the most revolutionary part of my degree. So we studied like traditional pachinko clown, that in the Canadian sense of pachinko clown. And I studied that under Mike Kennard, and he's one of the most renowned clowns in Canada right now. Him and his partner, they did Mump and Smoot. I don't know if you've ever heard of Mump and Smoot, the clown duo, but
yes, I have.
Yeah, they're like the most famous clown duo for pachinko clown in Canada. And so they've toured, and now they're getting to the age where they don't do as many tours, but they do a lot of teaching and education, and they do most of that in the Edmonton and surrounding area. So he taught at the university, Mike Kennard, and he taught us in that course for us, and it was just wild. I learned so much more in that just few weeks of that one course than I think I did in the rest of the degree. Like for me, like obviously there's lots to learn, but for me, that's what landed with me the most and was the most valuable for me. It really teaches you how to interact with the audience as another scene partner. And that honestly, it goes into film as well. You can't in live time feel the audience of your film the way that you can in a theater, but just the fact that you need to constantly be aware of that third eye and how you're interacting with them as well, and the fact that like you are brilliant, and as an actor, like you have this like mind that is brilliant, and anything you're going to come up with, just trust your instincts and just go with them at all points. Those are the things that I learned most from clown that I just think are super valuable. To just trust yourself, trust that the education that you've taken and the things that you come up with are going to be something that somebody's going to like, and to just do it, and then see how it goes, and see how you receive input from your audience, and then you can go back with that, and you can give them more, and then they can give you more, and then it just like you just rise to the top that way. I think
it sounds like a little salting of Meisner in there, because it forces you to stay in the moment and observe, and don't doubt yourself. Don't think of a zebra, but don't doubt yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
And clown, for those that don't know, I mean, the stereotypical, it's not just putting on a rubber nose, right?
Yeah.
It's an actual
it's not at all putting on a rubber nose. Yeah, we did a little bit of the unit, just kind of differentiating, like what is a birthday party clown or whatever versus, clowning for the stage, and what's the difference between the two, because there's a lot.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that, because we get so in life. How young are you?
I'm 24.
24. And you've probably already seen it in adults as we grow. conformity of the world sort of makes you like this. Okay, that's why we have to keep stretching our acting muscles and going beyond the stoicness that they subconsciously feed you. Oh, you can't do that. Why? There's no answer,
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid that you're going to get too big and I'll have to do better myself. Aha! That's usually what it is. But have you talk about clown? Have you studied the Italian? What is it called? It's an Italian comedy, dell'arte, I think it's called. No,
I'm not familiar with it. It might be something that we looked at, but the name isn't striking anything with me.
Who's on your support team that supports you besides your dad? Dadager.
Currently, yeah, my dad. I've kind of created a little bit of a film family in Edmonton, Alberta. So the Grotesque team, the Higher Universe Pictures company, we've kind of created, a little bit of a family group. So in Grotesque 1, we found all these actors, we found all of these crew members and whatever. Turns out, in a slasher, a lot of people die. So all of these actors got killed, and we're thinking, oh, we should make Grotesque 2, but who do we make it with? Our beloved team we murdered all on camera, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what we decided to do is just bring everybody back as new characters. People are already suspending their disbelief in this world that we've created anyway. So we've decided to bring all of the same actors back just as different characters. And some of them are playing the same characters from Grotesque 1, but some of them are playing new ones. And we decided that was the best way to go because we just love everybody that we worked with so much. So I think the production team on that's Brandon Reines is the director-writer. Julie Whalen is the co-producer, and she's also an actress. And Sam Au and James Hastings and the whole team, David Gallinger, the whole team, they really do support me quite a bit. And anything that I do, anywhere that I go, they really, really support my work and they share it. There's also a few other film companies that I feel very home to me. So Hot Shot Films with Jarvis Grainer, he's definitely like very at home with me. Every time he's doing a project, he's like, he doesn't even tell me. like he just kind of goes like, hey, are you free, March 23rd or something, just a random date. And I'm just like, I don't even know what's happening, but yes, I'm free. I'm in. Like, whatever you're doing, I'm in. And then there's also Guerrilla Motion Pictures with Sam Reed and Justin Cooper or Justin Keebs. And they feel very at home with me as well. So those 3 film companies and many more, but those 3 film companies are definitely my support system whenever I'm working. They support me in a different way. Like, film companies often want to just support their own stuff. They just want to put forward their own stuff. But they all seem to be very, just very like hopeful for me. I don't know. And they always messaging me, just checking in, seeing how things go. And there's lots of film companies that I worked with that we just don't talk anymore because we're all moving on to our different stuff. But it seems like those 3, really stick with me. There's also Marc Zicree. He lives in LA, Los Angeles. He did Space Command. Those are the 2 posters back there. I don't know if you've ever seen his videos, but he always starts with Space Command. And him and his wife, Elaine, have been like huge mentors for me, especially for film in the US. Because growing up in Canada and studying all of this Canada stuff, it was all new. It's actually quite different. So they were huge mentors for me for that as well. So I don't know. I've been very lucky. All of those film companies, along with the universities I've gone to, the professors that I have at the university, I can contact them anytime, and they always are willing to work with me and talk to me and stuff like that. And then along with my parents, my dad and my mom as well. My mom works a lot from behind the scenes, so her name isn't seen as much. But she's both of them. Just I would be nowhere without them. So that would be my support team. It's quite big. It's quite a long answer, but it's true. That's how big my support team is.
Right. No, that's beautiful. It's because you've been active ever since high school. Continuous.
Yes.
No, support teams are very necessary because even though it's a performing art, you could feel like you're alone even if you're not. So you have to keep those relationships going, as much as possible.
It's a very dog-eat-dog environment a lot of the time. It doesn't have to be, but just the way that works out, a lot of the time it is. People are hoping that their thing is the biggest and that they become the biggest and whatever. So a lot of the time people don't look out for each other the same way. So when you do find people that do look out for you, it's really important to just like hold on to them and be like, okay, you're mine now.
Absolutely, because it's acting. I mean, yes, there's celebrity, there's stardom, there's a movie star, and that's all great. But guess what? You can't make people love you. You can't make people. If they do, that's great. If they ask you for an autograph, that's great. You know, but you have to believe, and that's what I'm sensing from you and the work that I've observed so far. You believe in yourself.
Yeah, I do. I do. I don't know. I do believe in myself. That's something that I found when I first went to the U of A. So prior to the U of A, I went to Grant MacEwan, and I studied there for 2 years and got my diploma in theater arts. But then I went to the U of A, and I remember seeing, so there was 3 years there that I studied. And when I was a first year, I remember looking at the third years and going, wow, they're so confident. Like, why are they all so confident in themselves? And not in like an arrogant way, not in a, they think they're the best. They were very helpful and very nice to us. But they would just walk down the hallways and we would all just look at them and be like, why are they so confident? They're so sure of themselves. And then by the time we graduated, we were all the same way. So there's something that I can't really put a finger on it, but it's something that I studied and that I learned at the U of A that just made us kind of, just very sure of ourselves and very confident in our abilities, and not just our abilities, but just ourselves in general. It's really easy to give up. It's really easy to give up in this career. And somebody who's confident and sure of themselves is less likely to do that. So yeah, there's something that I learned there that I don't think I will unlearn anytime soon.
Good. I'm glad, because of what you said. Most of acting is psychology, you know.
Yeah.
It is. It's fear and faith. It's afraid of success or afraid of failure, you know. Mm-hmm. If you fail, you're among the, and I'm not being arrogant or nothing, it's the truth. If you fail, people accept you. Oh, that's, hey, at least you tried, you know.
Yeah.
All right, come on, let's go do something. However, success, for some reason, maybe you've experienced this, success is scary sometimes.
Yep, it is.
Why is that, in your opinion?
I think in this career anyway, I don't know if this is certain, but this is what I feel, is success is so public. Like, as soon as you're successful in this kind of career, everybody has seen you. Everybody has seen you in something or whatnot. All the time, I go to the grocery store, I go anywhere, there's all the time, there's people who recognize me from something, and I gotta go, oh, cool, like, yeah, I want to talk to you and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's nerve-wracking, because it's like, I don't know what this individual thinks about this individual thing that they've seen me in either. And I don't know how they feel about it and how they feel about me and whatever, but they know me well. So as soon as something like that becomes public, it's kind of a one-sided thing. It's kind of like, oh, they know me, and they maybe they've looked things up about me. Maybe they know me really well. Maybe they don't know me at all. Maybe they hate me. Maybe they've seen something I put online and they go, oh my gosh, this girl, who knows? So that to me is a bit scary sometimes. I also like it. I also love it when people come up to me and talk to me about something that I've been in or something they think I'm interested in. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of the job, is just how many different people I get to meet. But yeah, I think the fact that things are so public is what's the scariest part about it.
I would say so, because subconsciously you think, oh, and you are anyway, okay, but oh, I've got to do better than what I've already done, because people are expecting, even though we don't know what they're expecting. Yeah, that's called fear, Yeah. And I think it's something that we're always going to have. Confidence, like you saw at the university, and you wondered how. It's because they failed at different times, and they're okay with it. Because if you fail, you always learn something, so you really didn't fail.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, the audition. Oh, I didn't get the part. Okay, but what did you learn? Took me years to figure this out. What did you learn? What do you mean? Well, that's your strength right there. What did you learn, and how can you take what you learned, move into the next audition? We're all human, So
yeah.
Who is your current favorite actor or actress?
Oh, Oh, that's a tough one. The first name that came to my mind was Tom Hanks. I don't know if that's 100% true. Maybe I'd have to think about it a little longer, but
Okay.
he's definitely up there. I really like him. I really like watching his stuff.
What do you like about him?
I like that he's so versatile. Like a lot of the time, big named actors nowadays, they get hired, to play one kind of thing. Like if you think about like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he's great. He's wonderful. He's super animated on camera. He definitely knows what he's doing. He's great, great, great. Every character that he plays, he's cast to play Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You know, like he's cast to play that character or him playing that character. Ryan Reynolds, same kind of thing. He's cast to play Ryan Reynolds in that character. Jack Black, he's cast to play Jack Black in that character. Tom Hanks is never the same. Everything I see him in, it's just like, wow, like he's so cool. Everything he does is just so different from the last thing he did. And that's something I don't know, I really greatly admire, and something that I strive for. Being typecast is so easy in this industry. People just they see you do something really well and they go, we like that. We want that again. And that's fine. If I had to play the same character every day for the rest of my life, that's not the end of the world. It's fine.
Right.
But playing a vast different variety of things really appeals to me, and that's something that Tom Hanks does really well. I had seen him in a few films. What was it? The Atlas movie? What is it? Cloud Atlas? Cloud Atlas. And he had played in that movie, he had played several different characters. There's several different timelines in that character, and he plays like a character in each of the timelines. And I didn't recognize him in a few of the characters he played. And it's like, I know him, I know what he looks like, but it took me a while. It's kind of like, this character looks familiar. I wonder if I know this actor. And then I'm watching it more and I go, damn it, that's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, and I knew he was in this movie, and I know that he's playing multiple characters, so I had all of the tools to find that out, and it still evaded me. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing that he's able to do that. Yeah, I think he's just phenomenal. Yeah.
I think without talking to him, which would be very cool someday, but I think he's very curious about life. Very curious, insatiably curious. And that's what I see in your performances, in your acting reels and things. You try out this. I was just, and I wouldn't say corrected, but it was a discovery. Okay, yesterday I was talking to another actress, and she was instead of the word emotion, she used the word energy, and I go, whoa, wait a minute, you said energy twice. Are you talking about energy or emotion? And then she went into it. Well, an emotion causes us to subconsciously in this world to emote or indicate, like, I'm scared. No, you're not. Yeah. You look ridiculous. Okay. But energy, you can't really, define what that is. It's a what's another word for energy? But there's a feeling that emotes, and you can do that arrangement. If you're depressed, okay, this is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, but energy, you can't really define it, and so it comes out pure somehow. Have you seen him in, what was it called? The Terminal?
The Terminal? I don't think so.
It's when he was from some foreign country, and he actually lived, it's a true story, actually lived inside an airport terminal for like months because he couldn't get his visa or something. And then there's Castaway. And then
I haven't seen that either. There's a few that are on my list. I just haven't watched them. I've seen a lot of them, but I don't think neither of those.
Well, I'll tell you what. The reason why I'm saying it, number one, because you mentioned him. I like him too. He's like an everyman. But you are very versatile. That's what attracted me first to after your dad said, hey, get a hold of Elizabeth. So I started looking at your stuff and looking at your reel. And you have various, I'm going to say this, very colorful energy in every role that you play. You're a little bit different, but I can still tell you're you, but you're a little bit different. That's when you use this word once, that's star quality, in my opinion. Yeah, where you can be diverse. How do you do that? I'm talking like an audience. How did you do that?
How do I do that?
How do you approach a character is what I'm saying, I guess.
Approach a character. Well, everything I do personally is script-based. I am a strong believer in having confidence in people that are cast in the roles that they're cast. So, and that's not just character roles. I just mean the writer. Like, really strongly believe in the writer. Just say, this writer is a writer, and that's his job. That's not my job. And so whatever he's written, or she's written, or they've written, whatever they've written, like, that's the source material that I have. And so I really find reading over the entire script multiple times is really important to me. There's been a few films I've been on, and I've been surprised that other people haven't even read the entire script. That's really surprising to me. Like, I need to read the entire script multiple times. Like, that's the only thing I have to base my character off of is this script. And researching is very, very important. So I spend a lot of time doing script work. I print out all of my scripts, so I have them on paper, and I print out the entire script, and I highlight things that aren't my lines, and I write on things that aren't my lines. I find objectives for my character, and I find objectives for other characters, and I, like, kind of do a little bit of how do things tie together? What string, if I pull, what is that, how does that react in the rest of the script and whatever. I do a lot of script work, and I research words that I'm pretty sure I know what the word means, but I'm going to research it anyway and just find out some fun definitions of it, and research some background. If I think this character is like another character, I'll research that character, and I'll see what other actors have done with that character. All of those things are very important for me, and that's kind of where it all comes from. Is I just think every character that a script writer makes is 100% unique in some way. It's not just unique from the other characters I've played. It's unique from any character that's ever been out there, because that's how unique people are in the real life. And there's nobody out there that's exactly like another person. So it's really important for me to do that script work and find out what makes this person tick. What do they want out of life? What do they want out of this scene? What do they want out of the other character? Their hopes and desires, things like that. Things that make this character interesting. Things that make this character worth playing and worth writing.
You sure you're 23 or 24? No, you sound like the way, and this is how I teach. I endeavor to teach this by referring back to the different Uta Hagen, Strasberg, and Stanislavski, and all those other wonderful people. I'll use that word. You speak like a 1940s movie star. No, you do. Because they did not have internet. They did not have caller ID. They had a phone. Hello? Oh, it's you. Or, oh, it's you. Okay? They had the script. They had the people in front of them. And they would sit in their chair, like you've seen old pictures of Betty Davis and Claudette Clabel, and all those old, which I'm sure you're familiar with to a certain degree, especially thanks to your parents, all those old souls. You have an old soul at your age because you appreciate the quality. You even have the audacity at your age in the 21st century to print out scripts. What's that? Well, it's not quick enough. Who says you have to go quick? You know, it's like the world. Gotta go. Why? I love how you do that. You print them out, you read them over and over again, complete, and you analyze the script. You step back. You probably even I don't like to assume, but okay, I'll put it this way. Do you, after a certain point, walk around like you depict them to be, and sit like, and move like you imagine the character to be? Yeah,
I often do. Not all the time, not with every character, but especially with characters that have some sort of movement quality, like some sort of special movement quality. That goes very deep into Stanislavski, as we did a lot of that.
Uh-huh.
So if it's a character that it was injured in something, or a character that's older than I am, or a character that is pregnant, or some sort of special movement quality, I'll definitely go through and do that kind of thing. If it's a character that's very much in my body, I often don't. Or if I'm playing some sort of monster or something, I will. For this pirate character, I definitely will. I think a pirate would move differently than me, and run differently than me, and fight differently than me. So yeah, a lot of the times I do. And I often find moving while saying my lines is just helps so much with memorization. If I'm moving, and even if it's completely different when I get to set, if I get to set and the way that things are laid out is entirely different than how I memorized it, that's fine. But I like to move in a bunch of different ways, and it just seats the lines in my body.
I've learned this. You probably heard it before, but 7% of all communication are words. Okay, like the famous text. Okay, 38% is vocal inflection. 55% is body language. Okay, so most of your confidence is in body language. Okay. Like a silent movie, like Charlie Chaplin, okay? I'm not going to do his gyrations, but the idea, you have an idea, not 100%, but you don't need 100% in this. It's imagination. You know what he's feeling. You just know. If more people would get off their hindquarters like you do, okay, and study fencing and study this and that and do and be and become, they would move a lot quicker in their craft, instead of, well, I posted something, I sent an email too. I gave him my emoji. Well, that's great. What does that do? That does nothing, No, this is fabulous. I privileged and honored to listen to your vast array of knowledge. And the thing about what I like about you, seriously, is that you're not finished. I can tell. You have this hunger and thirst to learn and keep going and going and going. You don't rest on your laurels. Yeah, sure. You did a good job and people, wonderful, beautiful, clap, clap. But you're a consummate actor. You're an artist. That's what you are. I can tell.
Thank you.
This is all I do is coach and act. So the more you do something, and that's why I talk the way I do, and see so much in people, because I do it every day, whether sometimes it's irritating. But, are you excited? I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. A scale of 1 to 25, how are you excited? How excited are you about Cursed Waters?
25. 26.
I had a feeling, yeah.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. The script that they sent me was so much better than I thought it was going to be. Which is, I already thought it was going to be good. Like I said, I agreed to it before even reading the script, which I don't always do. Usually when companies contact me, I say, hey, I'm probably down. Please send me a script and I'll let you know. Or I say something along those lines. But for them, I just said, yep, whatever you want, I'm in. And then when they sent me the script, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So Adam and BJ Mezek, Adam is also the director. They wrote the script, and obviously in conjunction with the Mahals, and it's so good. And Adam also wrote the script for Alien Storm as well, and that was also a really good script. My character was less involved in that script than this one, and oh my gosh, I can't talk anything about it because nothing about it has been released yet. But I'm so excited. Like, I just think about it all the time. I think about it like every day. And it's still in a draft version. It's still it's a completed version, but there's still going to be updates to it. So it's even going to get better. I can't even imagine it getting better. Like, that's crazy to me.
Right. Do you find that the journey is more exciting? The creation of the character within you is more exciting than the final result and the ending? What parts do you like best?
I find no. Maybe that's just the way I am. I don't know. But I find actually being on set and when everything comes together, when the set comes together and I'm in costume and I'm actually in the set with the other actors and they're also in costume and we're all in our, if we have accents, we're all doing our accents or whatever we're doing. And there's oh my gosh, the wonderful DP, Michael Sue. Oh my gosh, he's wonderful. He's crazy good. And he has the camera trained on us and stuff like that. That's my favorite part of it, just in the moment, just acting in the moment there. And that's when you can't do anymore too. That's when you can't research anymore. You can't learn your lines any better. So you just have to trust that all that work is there behind you and just be in the moment. So that's the most exciting part of it for me, yeah.
It's a good psychology.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just true.
I know, but you see, you've developed yourself over time with that. I can't wait to see it. And by the way, how could people contact you, and what's your website? Tell us, please.
My website is just my name, so it's www.elizabethchamberlain.com, and that's Lain at the end of Chamberlain. Lots of people spell it different ways, but mine is spelled like a Chamberlain, like in the royal family Chamberlain. That's actually where my name originated.
Really?
Yeah. There's lots of royalty long time ago in my family. No like official royalty, but like royalty adjacent. So like there was like knights and dames and
okay, now it all comes together, because this is where you get your I'm looking for the right word, your devil may care and type of bravery and things, and this is why you're so interested in becoming a pirate. It kind of just goes together now. Seriously, though. I mean, if you have lineage, to some point of DNA, it does follow you. It does. How? I don't know. I'm not a, whatever they call them, geneticist.
Yeah.
I would be bored to tears if I was. But no, that's wonderful. That gives you even more confidence. It's good to know where you come from.
Yes, it is.
Oh, and you're on YouTube too. You have a channel. I just subscribed to it as well. So.
Yeah, same thing. YouTube.com/Elizabeth Chamberlain, my name.
I like your logo. I'm big on marketing too, so I love your logo. The E is very royal. It's very elegant.
Yeah, I do some graphic design, so I was able to kind of make everything myself. So I made my own website, and I do my own drawings and stuff like that. So yeah, it's fun.
Hey, I want to thank you very much for being on Real Actors, Real Answers. I've been looking forward to this, and it's been a wonderful time with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. So get out there and continue to break a leg.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.